It seems like 2020 all over again. The whole world is bracing for a return of COVID-19. The outbreak in China has forced the Indian government to take stock of the situation here. Today, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia made a statement in Parliament, after which Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level meeting to review preparedness. Similar huddles were seen in Punjab, in Delhi and in Maharashtra as well. The masks also made a comeback in Parliament today. The Prime Minister and his cabinet wore masks in both houses. He's sending a message. Clearly, the government is sending a very serious message actually to the opposition and to the country. COVID is not over yet. That is what they are saying. But the question is, could there also be a political message here? We told you about the Health Minister's letter to Rahul Gandhi yesterday. He asked the Congress leader to suspend the Bharat Jodo Yatra if COVID protocols cannot be upheld. Now, the minister says he was just doing his job. But the Congress says the government is trying to stall the yatra. They are using COVID as a bahana to stop the yatra. They are asking why rallies and marches by the BJP leaders were not given a similar warning. Listen in to all the COVID politics that played around Bharat Jodo Yatra today.
अब इन्होंने नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी कि कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो। अब भैया मतलब अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं। मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं। ये सच्चाई।
जब से कोविड चालू हुआ, फर्स्ट सेकंड वेव और थर्ड वेव, अभी थर्ड सर्ज वेव तो नहीं था, हमने कभी कोविड क्राइसिस पर पॉलिटिक्स नहीं किया था और नहीं हम करना चाहते हैं। आज देश में हर हॉस्पिटल में, जो बड़ी हॉस्पिटल है वहां पीएसए ऑक्सीजन प्लांट लगाया है। देश में सभी अस्पताल में पर्याप्त मात्रा में मेडिसिन का भी हमने रिव्यू कर लिया है, मेडिसिन प्रोडक्शन का भी हमने रिव्यू कर लिया है।
Should the Bharat Jodo Yatra be called off? And is the government requesting for the Bharat Jodo Yatra to be called off just a political stunt by the government to try and stall this yatra? Let me put that question to Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us here on the broadcast. Anshul Avijit, spokesperson of the Congress party. Thank you for continuing. And Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is chairperson of the Nephron Clinic. He is joining us on the broadcast as well. Charu Pragya, why ask Rahul Gandhi to stop his or suspend his Bharat Jodo Yatra? The fact is that the government is saying there is absolutely no reason to panic. The fact also is that the government has issued no guidelines, including a mandatory guideline to wear masks. So why single out the Congress party and say, aap super spreader hone wale ho, please stop?
Shreya, good evening. And I don't believe that COVID is an issue which this country can ever take lightly. There should be no politicizing of the issue, and there is definitely no singling out of any political party or any Rajnetik Yatra. That is confirmed. What we have to remember is that the new Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, after he joined the Bharat Jodo Yatra and went back, was found to be COVID positive. By their own claims, Congress party says that so many people are joining the Yatra every day, which is going from village to village, city to city, state to state. So are you not being irresponsible when it comes to people around you? And I was hearing Rahul Gandhi ji speak just now. He says, "Mujhe chitti likhi." I want to ask you, Mr. Gandhi, if you are a very responsible political leader, why could you not write a chitti in return which simply said that I will ensure that people who join the Yatra follow COVID appropriate protocol, and I am going to make sure that everybody who's associated with this Yatra keeps COVID protocol as its utmost priority? What was wrong with that? Why do you create this hue and cry and say that yatra ko rokne ke liye COVID ki baat ho rahi hai? COVID did not ask BJP government before coming back. COVID also did not time itself for its return with coordination with the Bharat Jodo Yatra. We know that today there are more than 36 lakh active COVID cases globally. There are more than 3,400 active cases in India itself, 68,000 a day in US, and we've seen the pattern, the way COVID has been moving globally. It seems like another wave could be coming, and it is sensible to take precautions. It's sensible to ensure that you're asking everyone to go and take their booster doses. The government has done a lot of work, and it cannot be undone. And Shreya, very quickly, I want to add that the argument Congress party takes against this is saying, why aren't you not stopping flights? Why are you not stopping the movement of other people? So what are you expecting? That economy should come to a standstill again? That people should not be able to move out again? Why not simply take care of the things that we can within our own purview and gambit, and not point fingers at each other?
Anshul, Abhijit, why not just do the responsible thing? The fact is that the Bharat Jodo Yatra in any day is coming to a halt in the next couple of days. That we know that they are going on a 9-day break. Just prepone that break. Say, okay, there is a worry that the government of India has expressed. You cannot politicize public health. And therefore, if the government is saying that your event could end up becoming a super spreader, or there are concerns about COVID and this is not the time to have a yatra, why not just listen to the government and say, all right, look, the fact is that the BJP itself has suspended its Jan Akrosh Yatra in Rajasthan. So they have done the responsible thing. Why doesn't the Congress do the responsible thing either, as well?
Yeah, unfortunately, what the health minister has done has turned into a very serious health concern. I mean, I agree with Charu there, into something completely political. I mean, why didn't they issue the similar directive to the Prime Minister, who just had a rally in Tripura in which so many people turned out? I mean, I have the pictures to prove it, whether they were got forcefully or they came by themselves, I don't know, but they were certainly there. That directive should have been given there. Why wasn't directive given to the airport, not to stop flights, but indeed have a check to institute mandatory masks or checking of that sort? I mean, why did the government always react so late when there is a directive from the organizations around the world? Why can't it preempt situations? That is the devastation that led to, first of all, the first wave, where there was an ill-conceived lockdown, where there was a migrant crisis. You didn't order vaccines for 1 year, where there was, the second wave and the devastation and the annihilation. We saw that. Playing politics over COVID, you had differential pricing. Have we all forgotten that? When you asked the states to procure their own COVID vaccines from around the world, and led to some kind of Darwinian chaos. Have we forgotten all these things? The devastation, the people who died in the second wave because of lack of preparedness by this government. Let me remind everyone here that, it was first of all the Congress
now
party.
They are being prepared. Now they are being cautious, Anshul, Abhijit.
They are not. Well, we do tell
now
us then.
They are being prepared. They are being cautious, and they are saying, look, we don't want super spreader events. Stop your yatra.
So then tell me why. In the last 2 weeks,
damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Dip in booster dose in the last couple of weeks. If you look at the website, there's been a precipitous dip in the kind of shots, vaccinations that have been given. Why has that happened? What is the government doing? The government, in fact, we are asking the questions of this government. How prepared are you? Do tell us, have you updated your vaccine? How safe is the vaccine that you already have? Instead of, what they are doing is putting the onus on the public. Like, listen, protect yourself, because we can't do anything for you, because we have a history to prove it. It was the Congress party, if
Charu?
you remember, last year, it was the election commission that had an 8-phase election when the second phase was imminent on the behest of this government. It was the Congress party that stopped its rallies, but the Prime Minister did not. So we understand perfectly well what the dangers are and our responsibility. In fact, by taking the metaphor of the tsunami, it was Mr. Rahul Gandhi last year said the government should take action, and it refuses to do so. You're saying just like a tsunami and there's a calm before the storm, that's exactly what's going to happen. And that was prophetic. So we know exactly what to do. Look, institute, protocols, make them laws, make it mandatory. We'll follow them. But you can't single out a leader. The problem is you have a problem with the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Its success, its support, its organization is something that is really irking you. You've been trying to snub it and to trivialize it since its very inception.
Anshul, Abhijit, all right. Even if I give you everything you're saying, fact is that the Prime Minister has sent a message to the entire country to mask up, right? He and the entire cabinet came wearing masks in Parliament today. At least that's the least that Rahul Gandhi could have done. Dr. Bagai is joining us. Dr. Bagai, your frame isn't very stable, Dr. Bagai, but I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, Ji. I'm sorry, the link was a little bad. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, I'm sure. Okay, all right. Have you stabilized your camera? Okay, great. You look great now.
Yeah.
Dr. Bagai, you're not a political person. So I've heard from Charu Pragya, who's representing the BJP. I've heard from Anshul Abhijit, who's representing the Congress party on this show. I want to hear from you, who's representing science and the medical community on this show. Should Rahul Gandhi's, given what we know so far, should Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra be called off in public interest? Or is it too early to take a step as drastic as that?
Okay, so my purely on medical sciences, that we have to keep lives of the nation, the citizens first. Now, all this development which has taken place is practically in the last 48 to 72 hours. I've heard of some statements being made that so-and-so didn't take precautions in some state or the other. But the fact is this huge issue of the China explosion of cases has surfaced only in the last 2 days. So my request is that please keep precautions, keep little bit of social distancing in the walk which Mr. Gandhi is doing. He can meet people. In fact, he can use this as a platform to promote the aspects of vaccines, promote the aspects of masks. Nothing could be better than all political parties joining hands together. But a large crowd, unmasked and walking together with a questionable booster vaccine history can be very dangerous. I must add that this new sublineages of Omicron are carrying an R naught close to 18, which is 5 times more contagious than even Delta. We know that this can travel up to 60 feet, and an unvaccinated or unboosted person can be liable and highly susceptible to get this infection.
Okay.
So precaution first. We don't need to panic,
Okay.
but Mr. Gandhi actually use this walk to promote science, to help the government, because after all, we are all in it together. There is no division between one party and another party when it comes to fighting for a national cause.
Okay, so you're saying no need to give up the yatra, but at least mask up. And as you mask up and walk across India, you still have 4 states to go. At least send out the message that COVID isn't over and it's probably prudent to mask up. We'll leave it there for the moment. Charu Pragya, thank you very much. Anshul Abhijit and Dr. Sanjeev Begai for joining us on this very short and quick discussion. Thank you very much. Hope to see all of you again.